Good morning, all dear students. I hope you all are fit and fine. I hope your families are fine. Today we are going to do the chapter The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. This is chapter number 3, Class 8th, DAV Board. I'm going to give you the summary of this chapter, but that summary will not be very short one, fine. It will be an elaborated one. Okay. So, first of all, I would like to tell you that what is chapter all about. The chapter is about schools, the schools which we have today. I mean, there is one building, there are several classes, several teachers, and we go to school and we study in that school, sitting with our fellow classmates. Fine. But this story is an imaginative story, it's a fiction. In this story, the time taken is 21:55. I mean, the time going on is 21:55. Like today, it's 2020 going on. The people have framed this story in 21:55. So actually, it's a story about future, that what will be the state of schools and education system in future in 21:55. Fine. So in this chapter there are two children. One is Margie or Margie. Both the pronunciations are acceptable. You can call Margie or you can call the girl character in the story Margie. Fine, both the pronunciations are acceptable. And the second main character of the story is Tommy. Okay, Tommy is elder than Margie. Okay, another character in the story is Margie's mom. Fine, Mrs. Jones, and there is one more character, County Inspector. Fine, these are the four human characters, and besides these, there is one character, that is mechanical teacher. So in this video, I am covering the first two pages. Fine. So first of all, the story starts that Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17th May 21:55, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book." Please remember the very first line of this chapter, Tommy found a real book. This is very important line. This can come in your paper for explanation. Okay. Real book here means printed books. The books which we read today, they are known as real books in this chapter. Fine. So Margie, she is very surprised. Why? Because Tommy, who is her friend, he has found a book from the attic of his home, and that book is a real book. That is a printed book. Now, why she is shocked? Because they people in that time, they are in habit of reading telebooks. Means they used to read only telebooks. I mean books on computer, not on pages, not on paper. Actually, Margie and Tommy, they had never seen a real book. They had never seen a printed book. Fine. It means in this fictional story, it has shown that at that time, paper will no longer be there in the world. Everyone will be reading from computer only. So one day Tommy found a book from the attic of his house, and he was very much surprised, and he showed that book to Margie, and Margie was also very surprised on that thing. So while going to sleep, she is writing her diary on computer. Fine, she is writing her everyday experience, like which is a habit of many of the students, and she is writing that in that diary she wrote that Tommy has found a real book. Okay, now that book is very old, it is very crinkly, the pages are yellow. Obviously, because the book is very old, so the color of the pages turned yellow and it is very crinkly. Before I move ahead, please, I would suggest you people to Google the word attic. Fine, to Google the word attic, because it is such type of word which if I explain you the meaning of the word now, you will not be able to understand. It is very necessary for you people to see the image, see the picture, that what attic actually is. Now Margie, she is recalling that when her grandfather told her once that when he was a little boy, means Margie's grandfather was a little boy. At that time, his grandfather's grandfather used to go to school and used to study from printed books. Now what they have, what is the plot of the story? It means that Margie and Tommy, they are living in future, and they don't have printed books. They do not have schools like we have today. Fine. uh, they are studying at their home only, and the teacher is a mechanical teacher, it's not a human teacher. So for Margie and Tommy, that book was actually a very different kind of thing which they have seen for the very first time in their life. Okay. Now they turned the pages which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen, And then when they turned back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had when they read it the first time. Now what happened here is that when they are opening the book, they are looking at the pages, and they are finding this thing. They found this thing actually, that all the words are stood still. It means they remain at their place, they do not move. Like in telebooks, the pages the words move from one place to another. We know that very well. We do work on our laptops and on our mobiles, and we can move the words, we can delete the words, we can rewrite them. Fine. But in a printed book we cannot do that. The words remain still. It means they remain at their place. And this thing was awfully funny, very funny, but in a very disgusting way. It is funny for them. Okay. And the second thing which is funny for them is that when they turn back the pages, the words remain there only, they do not change. For example, when we go back to the same page on computers, many things on that page changes, but in a book we know it very well. Hundreds of times, if we change the page, if we shift the page, if we flip the page, then also the pictures will remain there, the words will remain there. And this is a very different kind of thing for Margie and Tommy. Guy, said Tommy, what a waste. When you are through with the book, you just throw it away. Now this is very important. Now here the expression Gi is not an actual word, it's an expression, and it's an expression of dissatisfaction or disgust. Now Tommy is very dissatisfied with this printed book which he found in the attic of his home, which actually belonged to his grandfather. He is not very happy with the book. Why? Because he thought once you go through the book, you read the whole book, once you are done with that, you have read the whole book, you have to throw it away, it is useless for you. But computerized books, telebooks, they are not like that. Once you read the book on a computer, next time you are not going to throw the computer away because the book is you have read the book. You can read several books, numerous books on computer. So that's why he found it a wastage of time. Fine. Now our television screen must have had a million books on it, and it's good for plenty more, and it I wouldn't throw it away. This I have already explained you, that we will not throw the telebooks away, we will not throw our computer away after reading one story from that. We can have numerous stories on that. Fine. Next is same with mine, said Margie. She was 11 and hadn't seen many telebooks as Tommy. He was 30. Now in this paragraph particularly, they are telling you the ages of both. Tommy is 13 and he is elder, and Margie, she is 11 years old. Fine. So obviously Tommy has seen more books than Margie, more telebooks. Okay. In my house, he pointed without looking because he was busy reading in the attic. What's it's about? Sorry, I have skipped one line. It's she said, where did you find it? Now Margie, she is questioning Tommy that where did you find that book, and Tommy is saying that I found this book in the attic of my home. I have already told you that thing. Please do find the pictures of attic on Google, otherwise the meaning is already given in your book, a room at the top of a building. But this is through this explanation you wouldn't be able to understand what actually attic is. So please go and Google it. Fine. What's it about? Now Margie, she is asking that what is the book all about, and Tommy said it is about school. Margie was scornful. Now scornful here means uninterested, disinterested. She was not at all disinterested in reading a book about schools. Fine. From here we got to know that she was already frustrated with school and education and with teacher, etc. Fine. What's there to write about school? I hate school. The mechanical teacher had had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. Now in this paragraph it is very much clear that Margie, she hates school. Why? Because she was not performing good in geography sector. Every time she was getting very less marks in geography sector, and she was performing worse, and her mother, Mrs. Jones, she was angry with her. She shaken her head sorrowfully. Now sorrowfully here means in anger. She shaken her head. Fine. Her head means Margie's head. And sent for county inspector. Sent for means to call someone. Fine. It's a phrase. It means to call someone. So sent for county inspector. So she sent a message for county inspector to come at home and talk with the girl that what is the actual problem is, or see the mechanical teacher where the problem lies. He was a round little man with a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. Now when that person came to home, his physical description has been given in the book. He's if you can see in the picture, he's a short heighted and a round man. Round means he's very healthy, he's fat actually, and his face is red, and he was having a tool box with him. Fine. He smiled at her and gave her an apple. Now he smiled at Margie and he gave an apple to her. Then took the teacher apart. Apart means separate. Now he took that mechanical teacher in a separate corner of the home, and Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again. Now Margie, she is praying in her heart that the county inspector should not be able to fix the mechanical teacher's problem and should take him altogether away. Fine. Put it together again is a phrase which means to fix it, or to fix the problem, or to fix the technical glitch, or to, you understand. But he knew how to set it all right, and after an hour or so, there it was again, large, black, ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. Now within an hour, the county inspector, he fixed the problem, the technical glitch which was going on in mechanical teacher. He fixed that, and he brought that large, black, ugly, with a big screen fixed on it. We'll be using word it for mechanical teacher because it is not a living creature. Fine. With all the lessons shown on that and question he used to ask. It means he fixed the problem of mechanical teacher. It means the problem lies with the mechanical teacher, not with Margie. That wasn't so bad, and it wasn't a big problem. The part she hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test paper. Now there was one slot, there was one place, fixed on that mechanical teacher's body where Margie had to put her homework every day and the test papers every day, and she hated to do that. She always had to write them on a punch code they made her learn when she was 6 years old, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. Now when she was 6 years old, at that time only, they told her how to punch the numbers on mechanical teacher. Like these days, kids, they know how to operate mobile, how to punch the numbers on mobile, how to dial number, how to see videos and everything. Fine. At that in the case of Margie, when she was 6 years old, the school teacher made her learn how to punch the code, how to add the homework, how to put the test paper in the proper slot. Fine. So she was very handy with that. She was well versed how to do that. And the mechanical teacher was very, very fast. He used to calculate the marks of his test paper in no time. Now again, in no time is a phrase which means in very less time. So this is the first part of this chapter. Soon I will be uploading the second part of the chapter. Please go through it till then. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.